Hi, everyone. I think we can wait a couple more. All right, so we are live. Welcome,
Okay.
everyone, and welcome, Ajit, sir. And thank you so much for taking out the time for this webinar today. All right, so we will be beginning with one of our LinkedIn lives. I think there is a feedback coming. Ajit, sir, can you mute your mic?
Mhm.
Yeah, yeah, I could hear myself. Okay. So, once again, welcome everybody to another one of our LinkedIn Live events. Today, we will be exploring the career opportunities in the field of information security audits and compliance. And this is going to be a different one. We have not done a webinar like this on GRC and audits and compliance in a while. So, thank you so much, Ajit sir, for bringing it to our stage. And so, we'd love to go ahead with it. But before we do that, I would like to introduce us. We are Protect Academy. We are your one stop shop to all things information security, whether it is your training requirements, whether it is just guidance and mentorship. We are there to help you with it. And we help everybody who comes our way, whether it is just they're looking for some kind of guidance or they need trainings and mentorship in the field of information security, cloud security, or cyber security. So we provide a plethora of courses. So we mostly focus on courses like CISSP, CISM, CISA, CIRISC, and GRC audits and all of that. Yeah, so this is the list of all the courses that we offer, and many are in the pipeline, and we'd be coming out with a lot more.
Yeah.
And we'll keep you posted whenever that happens. So stay tuned with us. And without further ado, I'd like to bring Mr. Ajit Pal Singh to the forefront. And sir, please take over.
Thank you, Ghazal. Thanks, everyone, for showing trust in Protector Academy. Okay. So as I promised, because this is my third one in the series, we started with a generic uh, webinar on careers in InfoSec, where we were not able to touch base in detail about different careers. But last to last week, we started with more detailed focus on each and every career in cybersecurity, and we already done our webinar on career in cloud security. If someone wants to have a look at it, we conducted around 2 weeks ago. It is there in our LinkedIn page. The link is available. If someone wants to have a look at it, he can look at it. So if someone has missed, he wants to look into the him, he can have it. So this is another in the in that line. This is more about career in InfoSec audit and compliance field. Before I move further, let me introduce myself. My name is Ajit Pal Singh Vadhavan. I'm based out of Delhi. Okay. And if you talk about my professional experience, I have around 20 years of experience in IS audits, security operation centers, security leadership, testings, compliance, risk management, regulations, and privacy. At the same time, training is my passion, and I'm fortunate that I was able to keep my passion alive along with my job. Okay, so I have 20 years of experience in professional trainings, conducted 250 plus training sessions on CISA, CISM, CISSP, CCSP, SWIRISC, Security Plus, SSCP. I'm more into management security trainings, okay, rather than offensive one. I am an IC2 authorized trainer for CISSP and CCSP, and ISACA authorized trainer for APMG, okay, CISA, CISM, and CRISC courses. I did a lot of certifications from diverse fields of information security, CISA, CISM, CISSP, CRISC, okay, CompTIA Security Plus, CCISO, GDPR, CCNP, lot many, I would say, over the period of 20 years, because training and learning continuously is my passion. And I am lucky that life has given me chances to continuously upgrade myself in accordance with the industry uh, technologies and practices. So this is a brief about myself. Let me take you through the agenda, what I will be taking you through. This is what slides I've prepared it on the basis of my experience in the industry. We will start with the introduction, why audit and compliance is booming these days, why you should be choosing that as a career, what are the roles, who all can go, and what are the different rules available, what are the certifications required, what are the skills required, because there are a lot of myths about it, because people sometimes say, oh, want to move into audit, go with CISA. So there should be a specific path that everyone should follow in order to move into audit. It's not only about that you simply do a CISA and you can make a career into audit. Yes, CISA is one of the certification, but there are many other things that you need to do in order to make your career or move your career into audits and compliance. Both goes hand in hand. There is a very fine difference between the two. So why career into audit and compliance is booming? There is a huge demand for audit and compliance, information security. Here, I would be focusing more on InfoSec audit into compliance rather than general compliance. Compliance could be for your finance, compliance could be for your, office rules and regulations. But here we are focusing more on InfoSec audits and compliance. So Bureau of Labor Statistics projects a 15% growth in computer information technology occupation from 2021 to 2021, which is much faster than the average of all occupation. And audit and compliance field is also a part of this Bureau of Labor Statistics survey. So why all of a sudden there is a surge in a field of audit and compliances? These days, because of clouds, virtualization, easy availability of resources, like you see, we are now moving into 6G also. Very soon, industry is working on it. 5G is on a roll. So cyber attacks are growing in frequency and complexity. So security audits and compliance act as a vital lines of defense by identifying vulnerabilities into systems and networks. Government around the world, because in the beginning, since 90, because cloud, I would say, information technology started proliferating in industries since 1990s. But in the beginning, attacks were not very sophisticated. Machineries, IT was not that very sophisticated. But these days, due to coming up of data sciences, AI, machine languages, clouds, and good, infrastructure, a lot of companies, they can easily correlate data from about you, and they are really doing it. There is a saying that if you're not paying anything for our data, if you're not paying anything for the services, then you are the paycheck for the companies like Facebook, Instagram. They're not taking anything from you in return, which means that you are the fees that they are taking. So countries around the world, government around the world, industries, government, countries, okay, they are coming up with newer and new regulations in order to have more control over the way the companies are using your data. So that also one of the reasons that you should be, there is a great need of security and compliance professional, because you need people, compliance profession, compliance professional who can help you in getting compliant with those regulations made up by government or industry. And definitely you need audit professional to check your compliance level. We are getting more and more dependent on technology for our day-to-day job. This also increases a lot of risk. Because of this growing risk, there is an ever increasing demand for audit and compliance professionals. So sometimes normally companies use this term interchangeably. What is audit and what is compliance? Okay, both goes hand in hand, but both are different processes. Compliances, like for example, Government of India has come up with Personal Data Protection Act for Indian corporates. So there are provisions that companies have to adhere to. So you need professionals who can help you in ensuring that you have all controls in place in order to comply with Personal Data Protection Act. So this is the work of compliance team. Similarly, you have PCI ISO 27001. You need people, there are provisions, there are controls defined. You need people who can help you in implementing those controls and ensuring that you are compliant with those controls. But at the same time, audit, this will check whether you are compliant with that. You are saying that you are complying with PDPA, you have all DPIA done, is data protection impact assessment done. So auditors, they will verify those things. So compliance is more often normally have seen internal, especially in India, I would say. They companies have internal teams, okay, who will help you in audits, who will help you in achieving compliance. This role is good for people who don't want to travel a lot, who won't want to travel a lot. But I would say jobs in these fields are limited because normally internal people, they where companies normally hire internal people, but yes, companies do hire big four and consulting organizations also, which can help them in implementations and attaining compliances. But mostly I would say this is more of an internal job. But yes, big companies, small companies, there is also a scope for external agencies also, which can help company in attaining compliances. As a part of third-party suppliers auditors, I have seen companies hire experts to help them in attaining compliance with ISO 27001 PCI DSS 1. Audit companies, they do have internal auditors, so there are jobs available. So it's their the responsibility of auditors is to ensure whatever you are saying is is correct, and the controls you are saying that it is implemented, whether it's implemented properly or not. So main reasons of auditor is to focus on independent evaluation of organization security postures. So companies, they do have, there are different kinds of audits: internal audit, external audits. So companies, they do have internal audit teams. Good job. No need to travel a lot. But external auditors, yes. So they, because if I say, because external bodies, if I talk about, okay, this is independently, internally parties, they may not give more importance to it. They give more importance to external audits. So that's the reason there are jobs available in internal audits, which is hired by internal people, internal companies. Okay, they are internal employees of the company, but they are external auditors. So jobs are available for external auditors in big fours and different consulting fields. So this is the main difference. So if someone don't want to go into a lot of traveling, because audits, yes, unless and until you are an internal auditor, your company doesn't have branches in lot other parts of the country or company or world, you don't need to travel a lot. But audit normally involves traveling. That is what I've experienced over the period of time. Why career in audit and compliances? Booming industries, technical industry is booming a lot. Newer and newer technologies are coming in. Salaries are good. You can have diverse roles. So when I say audit, audit is a process of evaluating the controls and seeing whether they are in adherence with certain standards or regulations or not. So you have to work in different fields and you should have knowledge of different fields. Like there are audits, network security audits, application security audits, mobile security audits, information security management audits, third party supplier audits, cloud audits. So you have different types of roles available. And there are audits related to quality, service management. So there are non-technical roles also available in it. And it is a very, very dynamic field. Because earlier days when we conduct an audit, most of the things was available on paper, documentation. You can easily do audit are without using computers. But these days we are having applications where those applications are processing data every second, every minute. So newer and newer technologies, newer applications are coming in. So this is a really a dynamic field. So it's a very good career. But yes, you have to work hard in this field also. So people have a lot of queries about who all can go for audit and compliance fields. As I told you, audit is a very broad process. It's about ensuring the controls that you are implemented or process you are implemented are in compliant with standards, processes, or industrial regulations framework. So there could be many types of controls implemented. There are many types of frameworks available. So it has in this field, you have opportunities for everyone. Like for example, network security professionals, they can also come into this field because organizations have implemented firewalls, IPS, IDS, okay, web application firewalls. So organization needs to audit these controls regularly, whether they are working properly or not, whether they are in accordance with organization standards or policies. Tell me, a person who is not having a knowledge of firewalls, IPS, IDS, and technical controls, can he audit this? No. So who is the better professional for auditing for network security audits? Network security professionals. Freshers can also come into this field, okay? Then software developers. Organization have applications, okay? They have application. Now the boundary with an advent of DevSecOps, the boundary between developers and security people have blurred. You need people, so software developers needs to play the role of a security people. Security people needs to understand software development. Tell me if you need to find out. There are standards available like ISO 27034. Companies also have their own, software development standard. And if there is a need to audit that applications have all security controls, they are developed in accordance with company security policy. Who all can do it? I, as a network security professional, is not a good guy. Software developers can fill the gap here. Similarly, these days with the proliferation of cloud, what we think as a cloud is AWS Azure, but no, AWS Azure is not the only cloud. We are using software as a services day in, day out in different parts, even without realizing that we are using cloud. Office 365 is what? It's cloud. So we have so companies cloud normal, so there is a great requirement of a cloud audit professionals also. Then, in organizations, we have ITIL processes, ITIL service delivery. We have change management, we have incident management, problem management. So if there is a requirement to audit these processes, who all can fill the gap? Similarly, VAPT professionals, vulnerability assessment, penetration testings, physical security professional. One of the things we often overlook as a cybersecurity professional is physical security. Physical security is equally important in the organizations. Think about you have every controls in place, application has been developed properly in accordance with the rules, in accordance with the policies, you have two-factor authentication, proper hardening done, but device is lying as it is, no guard is there. So what happens? If someone can come and take it away and steal it. So there is a demand of physical security professionals also. There is a requirement of people who can do audits of physical security controls. And now another one which is on a great rise. Within next 2 years, especially next 1 year, I would say within India, there will be an ever increasing demand of privacy professionals. In 2018, European government has come up with a GDPR, which is one of the stringent privacy regulations. And world is a global village these days. And India, I would say, we do businesses with in different parts of the world. We do businesses with US, we do businesses in India, in Europe. So there is a demand to understand the privacy regulations of those countries. And now Indian government specifically has come up with the regulation PDPA, and in July 24, the government of India will notify it, and then corporates around the, because as of now, if I see in IT Act 2000, nothing is there related to privacy, no foundation for Indian companies to have some controls related to privacy. Whatever they are having, it's more in order to comply with global regulations. But there will be an ever increasing demand for implementation of privacy. At the same time, you will need people to audit those things. So that is a very booming field. Okay, so you can see practically we have covered all different IT professionals which can make their career into audit and compliance field. Look, in order to do an audit is a process, correct? It is a process. In order to do an audit, you have to have experience and you should have SMEs in your field. Because if I don't know firewall, how can I audit a firewall? If I don't understand how APIs work, software works, I cannot be a good software auditors. So I have to be an SMEs. Okay, you have to choose your field. So normally audits, there are audit jobs for the people above 5 years, but yes, there are entry level jobs also, and I will discuss it with you. So who all can, these roles available in compliance and audits? So there are entry level roles available, helps and assist in performing audits. You can get in corporates, especially if you look, you can get, if you are looking for entry level role, my suggestion, target big fours, consulting companies, because they have plenty of roles available for it. They always look out for ISO 27001 CISA certified people and with some basic experience. If you're looking for analyst audit role, definitely you can get an opportunity. You can, or there are companies like I used to work with SCL earlier, or SCL, they hire freshers by from colleges, and it's their luck, freshers' luck, that in which field they would be deputed to. So sometimes I've seen the freshers, they get opportunity to work in information security and audit field. But yes, entry level jobs, big fours, yet you will get a lot of opportunities there. Okay, specialized, then you have a security auditors, specialized in security aspects of internal audit, should be well versed with security policies, standards, frameworks. Compliance officers, they are the one who see the organization adherence to relevant organization. We all hear about GDPR, HIPAA, PDPA, but you know, Government of India and even governments around the world, just like Government of India, like DOT, Department of Telecom. Department of Telecom have their own mandatory obligations, the mandatory set of controls which every telecom organization in India have to specialize with, have to comply with. Similarly, if you talk about the power companies like Tata Powers and all, so they have Government of India, the regulatory body. Every Government of India have regulatory bodies for each and every industry. So they also they are for that company also they have released the set of mandatory obligations that they have to adhere to. Look, information security controls, when we talk about, it's almost all same with some changes here and there, names here and there. Okay, then you have data privacy, which are the one who focus on ensuring compliance with data privacy regulations. And I told you in India, there will be a great demand for privacy professional in the next 1 year. Trust me, because it will be an obligation for an organization to have DPOs. There will be a great demand for data privacy officers, even privacy executives also. Then you have cloud security auditing roles. These are the one who focus on assessing the security posture of the cloud-based environment. Look, when we cloud is someone else data center. Okay, this is someone else data center. We are giving the data, we are sending the data in a cloud for processing. Okay, so we are ceding control over our data, and which includes PII data also, privacy, personal identifiable information. PII is anything which can uniquely identify you. So you cede your control of your data to the cloud. So you need an assurance that the cloud provider has all the controls in place to provide security, to protect your data. Moreover, you know, as a as an industry, you also have to comply with a lot of regulations, okay, standards. So you also need to ensure that the cloud provider is complied with those standards and regulations or not. So who can give you that assurance? Cloud security audit. Similarly, there are requirement of third-party risk assessor. Similarly to cloud, okay, cloud is different thing. So we worked with partners because in 1991, with the advent of globalization, companies around the world, especially who are not into IT, they started outsourcing their work to different countries around the world, different companies, so that they can focus on their core area of work. So, like cloud, here also they have to transfer data to some third party. And how they will get an assurance that third party is keeping their data safe. So they regularly perform security audits as a part of getting an assurance, regular assurance. They have to perform third party audits. So you can have the internal audit team, which companies normally have third party supplier or third party assurance department, which have a team of auditor which audit those assessors. Okay, then application security auditors. Companies have applications using in the organization. So application these days are important part of our life because they deal with all kind of our data, be it privacy data, be it our health data, and it is used everywhere. Look at MRI machines, look at aeroplanes. Like you see, there were there were two incidents in last 2 3 years. I don't remember the actual year, where two Boeing planes of some African Airways from two different countries they crashed in because of some bug, and there was patch needs to be released, but patch was not provided, and that plane crashed. So application has become an important part of our life. They are they are integral part of our life. So if applications are not secured, it can lead to lot of problems. I can give you one example where it can be fatal also. You know MRI machines, you know. So one hacker has hacked MRI machines, and due to that virus introduced by a hacker in that MRI machines started showing tumors in a healthy person's report. You see the importance of application security in the organization. So you need application security auditors, testers who can see whether the application security is up to the compliance and maintaining its standards. Similarly, you have physical security audits. And there's another field which I have not mentioned here. They are related to risk management. You can be risk management auditors also. So these are the different fields, and then you can be moved into governance also. Governance audits are also there. So these are the different fields available in the field of compliance and art audits. So if you talk about career progressions in audits, okay, so you can be an internal audit analyst, privacy analyst, you can be a network security testing professional. Like companies hire VAPT, the vulnerability assessment and penetration testing that we performed. What is that? That is also a kind of audit. What is the main purpose of audit? To see whether you are complying with regulations and standards. At the same time, the controls are working properly and they are free from vulnerabilities. So VAPT that you perform, vulnerability assessment, penetration testing, that is also a type of an audit. Compliance analyst, the person who is part of the executive who is part of compliance team, supporting the compliance managers, risk management analyst, 1 to 4 years. I would say if you're looking for an entry level jobs and all that, big fours are the one where you can get if you have a right skills, certifications, and communications and technical skills. Good one, because jobs in audit and compliance are pretty respectable job, I would say, because you don't need to do shifts. You have power, respect, authority. So once a person get a job into internal audit fields, he doesn't change quite often. So and okay, he doesn't change quite often. So yes, if you really want to make a career into audit and compliance, try to start with Big Four, work there for at least 1 2 years, so that because there, it's not about how much years of experience you have. It's all about how much exposure you have. So in Big Fours and all, you can get an exposure, very good amount of exposure in a very smaller time. Then you have a mid-level 4 to 9 years. You can be an internal auditor, security auditor, privacy professionals, physical security auditor, application security, risk managers. And senior level 8 plus, lead auditors, chief compliance officer, data privacy officers, chief security officers, chief risk officers. But remember, if you want to become a CISO, especially CISO, if I talk about, and lead auditor, you have to have exposure of different fields in the industry, because chief security officer, because privacy officer or a risk officer has only to deal with the risk or a privacy or compliance. He has to deal with the compliance which company has to adhere to. But for security officer, CISO especially, you should be having knowledge of physical security, application security, compliance field, okay, compliance field, incident management, HR, I would say everything. I'm not saying going into details of it, but yes, you need to have knowledge. A CISO is responsible for everything in the organization. Particularly, he would be on board with everything. He should not. He should be a technical person. At the same time, he should be having skills to correlate business with technical things. Because lot my times, especially the mid-level professionals who have transitioned their career from technical fields, they understand more technical things and they find it difficult to align technical with business, correlate technical with business. Remember one thing: audit, compliance, security, whatever we are implementing in the organization, it's there to support business. So you should be in a position to correlate technical controls with businesses, because till I would say top level management has not come out of a mindset that security, compliance, audit, they are still a liabilities, not an enabler. But it's their hindsight, I would say no. These days, it is more of an enabler, because if you are compliant, you would be getting more businesses. People will show more faith in you, trust in you. Like for recently, you have seen an issue of KTM. So they found non-compliant with RBI regulations, and people lost faith in them. So compliant is no more, compliance audit is no more, I would say, liability. It's more of a business enabler, because you need those things. Because ultimate goal of any audit security professional is to become a CISO or but again, it depends upon people to people. If you talk about me, my goal is not to become a CISO. I would be happy doing audit, because that is more of a technical role and you will be more specific, earning more. Because CISO is like mixed bag, more into management, presentations, data and all. But it all depends on people, what gives kick to them, up to you. Okay, so now the question comes to mind. A lot of you are waiting for it, that what are the things you need to do, or skills you need to acquire if you want to move into your, sorry, your audit and compliance field. Sorry, It's audit and compliance field. So the certifications that you need to do, so it is being categorized into two categories. One is a managerial vendor neutral certifications. One of the primary ones which everyone says, and I would say yes, that is true also, and I also did the same in 2009, because in 2006 I entered network security industry. I was not liking it, lot of shifts and all, and this is the motivation for a lot of people to move into audit and compliance, that I want to move away from shifts, correct? So that was my motivation also. In 2009, I started preparing for CISA, okay, and 2010 I completed it. So CISA, yep, it's a gateway, definitely a gateway. If someone wants to move into infosec security, infosec audit and compliance, CISA is a gateway. Trust me, that is good. But CISA should be complemented, as I told you, in today's world. Because when we talk about audit and compliance is companies' adherence to getting an assurance that company is adhering to particular standards and regulations specific to industry or organization, correct? So when you do an audit, you try to check your compliance against standards and regulations specific to industry. So along with CISA, you need to have knowledge about industry specific certifications, standard certification, which I will cover it with you in next slide. So yes, CISA is a gateway, but CISA should be complemented with standard certification based on your area of interest and area of expertise. Then you have CCAK. I am doing it because I am into, not very specifically into cloud audit, but I am into audit, learning cloud, had worked in a cloud also. So this is very specific to auditing of cloud. Then you have CISSP. Although CISA alone is sufficient, but if someone wants to go for CISSP, that is also another certification one can go for, but optional for people working into audit and security. CCSP, which is more specific to cloud and one of the big daddy of a cloud certification, but it is more generic controls, good to have. Just like I'm having CISA, CISSP, CCSP, all three, and it is really, really helping me a lot. And I'm going for CCIK. But again, I'm a trainer also and a professional, so I did it because it is helping me in getting businesses. But yes, if you have to, if I have to say, pick up 3 out of 6, so I would pick up CH, CISA, and CCAK more specifically. Okay. Then, so these are 6 certifications, the vendor neutral certifications that one you can pick up. But if you need to pick up only one, then go for CISA. Okay, go for CISA. So Certified Information Security Auditor, CCAK, Certified Information Security Professionals, CCSSP, Cloud Professionals, Certified in Risk and Information Security Controls, and then you have CH. So these are vendor neutral certifications. Why some of you might be thinking that why CH is in this field? Because in order to become an auditor, you need to have knowledge of defenses and management controls both. And CH, especially the present version, version 12, it has knowledge of, it will give you a good knowledge about offensive security as well as latest security technologies like blockchain, IoT, everything is considered covered here. And CISA alone is not sufficient, mate. CISA is more of an information security management certification. In that, only domain one is about audit process. Other domains, they are more about specific knowledge. They gives about the generic knowledge about information security processes and controls. So if you pick up one, need to pick one, pick CISA. If you need to pick up 2 or 3, then my suggestion, CISA, CCAK, and CH. Okay. Then standard specific certifications, which is, as I told you, ISO 27 means management certification should, these days, if someone wants to make a career, he has to do 2 kinds of certifications: vendor certifications and technical certifications and non-technical vendor neutral certifications. In terms of audit and compliance, technical certifications, it is being replaced. It's replaced with standard specific certifications. So you have standard specific certification, internal security control framework, which is ISO 27001. This is a must have because 90% of the organizations they have this is called as a gold certifications. Although in US you have SOC 2 and NISTs which we use it, but here I would say 90%, even though they also do ISO 27, their organization are also ISO 27001 certified. This is a certification which kills two birds, especially the 2022 lead auditor course. It kills two birds with one stone because it gives you a good knowledge about how internal security controls are implemented, and it gives you knowledge about auditing process also. So there are two options available. If you have to choose one, my suggestion would be go for ISO 27001 lead auditor because this is certified certification. 22 lead implementer, it is not certified. It is the vendors like Tufsod, BSI, they locally give this certification. Then you have BCP, ISO 22301 2019 lead auditor, lead implementer. For cloud security standard, you have 2701, which is Information Security Framework for Cloud, 27018, Privacy Code of Practice for Privacy in Cloud, and STAR, which is again another good certifications. I think in India, only BSI offer that. Then you have a privacy standard certification, ISO 2701. My bad, there's a typo. ISO 2701, CIPPE, which is by IIPP. Okay, if you are working in US company, then go for CIPP US. If you're working in European company, then go for CIPPE. Then yes, DSI, there are three certifications which are being offered by DSI, Data Security Council of India, DCPP. It's a very good certification, entry-level certification. If you just want to wet your feet in privacy, DCPP is a certification to go for. Then recently they have launched DCDPO, which is in alignment with the new Data Protection Act for privacy by Indian government. So that is also again a good certification to go for. Then there are another ISO 20001 for quality. 4201 is again a new one which has been introduced for artificial intelligence management systems. So have CISA and complement this with any one of, just like I know there are some of my friends who are into PCP fields. So have CISA, ISO 27001 is a must have. Because 22301, if you want to go for it, there is a prerequisite of ISO 27001. So ISO 27001, okay, CISA and BCP standard you need to pick up for. If someone is into cloud, go for cloud standard like STAR and all. Just like STAR is more specific to audit, go for 27701. So what are the skills required? Okay, network security. Definitely go for TCP. I'm not saying don't go into details of each and everything. Have a little bit knowledge of everything. That's why people who work into audit, okay, they need to be an experienced one. But again, say I'm not here to dissuade or demotivate freshers. You will always start for something. Yes, there are jobs available, freshers. Okay, companies hire GETs, Big Four needs people. So if you have the right skills, right certifications, right MO, you can definitely get a job. So these are the different fields where you should have. I'm not saying auditing and compliance, especially auditing, if I say, is science as well as an art. I've seen people who don't know much about the processes, who don't know much about the technology. They have a little bit knowledge, but they have that audit mindset, audit alignment, audit acumen. They can pick things out of it. And that comes with experience. So network security, you should be having knowledge about personal security, privacy, having knowledge how things works into cloud, ITIL service delivery, because service based, when we go for an audit, ITIL process are being followed in all the organizations. Change management, incident management, problem management. So you need to know how this works. offensive security assessment tools. That's the reason I told you go for CH also. Physical security, like for example, I'm a cybersecurity professional, but when I perform third-party security audits, there are physical controls also. And had I not having knowledge of physical security controls, I would be doomed there. So I've learned physical security is also what are the things we need to check and latest technologies. So Izaka, as far as I know, they have a different permutation and combinations of different certificate codes available. Like one I'm aware of certificate in emerging technology, and there are other certificate codes also which is available in Izaka. Go and have a look at it. You will find very useful for you. Okay. So at the same time, you should be having, I've not mentioned soft skill because soft skills are mandatory in today's world. Have good communication skills, have patience, because and don't be don't be aggressive because you have authority. Sometimes you get tough auditing, so you have to maintain your cool, be pragmatic, don't take things personally in audits. So these are some of the skills required. Now, if someone wants to move into audits and compliance, then what are the basic certifications they can do? First thing I would say, they should read it. ISO 19011 standard. Go to internet, purchase it, or I think it's available in on internet also. I have done, but it's best to have it. But you can Google it. You can find standard over there. This is ISO auditing standard. How to perform an audit? What are the characteristics? This is must read because no one will tell you about it. Even in CISA, they have not mentioned about it. Okay. Then you have Certified Information Security Auditor course, ISO 27001 lead auditor, lead implementer. These are and CH again, a course I've not mentioned, forget to update it. So these are the different three courses. CISA, there is no course for 19001. Okay, there is a standard available about 20-25 pages. Go and have a read over it before you move because it's beautiful. No one will tell you about, and have never seen in any book that about 190. I came to know about it when I started doing 27001. Nowhere on the internet people tell about ISO 19001, 19011. It's very good, very practical, very practical. It gives you a knowledge about audit process. Go for 27001 lead auditor, lead implement. Auditor would be more sufficient. CISA and CEH because it will give you knowledge about offensive security, latest technologies, and everything. So that is about this webinar. It's from my side. Now I can take questions. Ghazal, I'm not able to see the questions. If you can tell me about the questions, I can answer it. Now I'm open for question answers.
Yeah, hey sir. So, as of right now, we don't have any questions, but we would really encourage our participants to pose their burning queries, and Mr. Ajit would be happy to answer them. Let's wait a few minutes.
Sure.
Any queries that anybody might have regarding the field of compliance and auditing? All of your queries, all of your questions are welcome. Yeah, sir. So we do have a question. Let me just
Okay.
try to put it on the screen.
Look, if you talk about this is very specific, Krishnamurthy. This is very specific. There are computer assisted auditing techniques available. There is a concept in ISAC, there is a concept in audit. We call it as a computer assisted auditing techniques. So those tools are very costly and very specific to audit. So ACL is one of the tool which I'm aware of, and those tools are very specific, and organizations they do design specifically in accordance with the application. No, there is no single tool to handle that. There are tools available. There is a organization. I remember. Look, RSA Archer is one of the tool for that is for specifically GRC tool. And if there is a company called One Trust where you can go and you can see a lot of certifications related to toolings and all. But if you talk, those are more specific to GRC, Major Krishnamurthy. But if I talk about specific audit tools, ACLs I'm aware of. There are tools we call it the generalized audit softwares. It's costly. You will not get it in open forum, and companies they do have specific, application developed as per the application they have installed in the systems. That is the answer to your question. No, I don't think there you need to learn some programming languages. But again, Major Krishna, it depends upon what kind of audit you are performing. If you're performing application security audit or a audit of an online application, then you may need to develop your specific customized tool to especially capture the data. But normally, if I talk about the general infosec network security audit, I don't think there is a requirement to learn any programming languages. Okay. Any further questions?
I think there is a slight lag, so we can wait for like another minute.
No worries.
So I can't
Doesn't
see
look
any
like
further
question.
questions.
Then I think we are good to close then.
Yeah, it appears to be, sir.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks everyone. Thanks for your time. This will be available as a link on our, page as well as I will also share it. So if someone has missed it, you can definitely uh, have a go through to it in a recording. Thank you very much.
Absolutely. Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much, sir, for taking out the time. And thanks once again, everybody, for joining us. And thank you,
Thank you.
Major Krishna, for asking your questions. It's always a
Thank you.
delight to have you with us.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
sir. Thanks, Ajit, sir.
Bye.
Bye bye. Thank you.